Thank you all for joining the Delaware Pathways to Green Schools program webinar. This webinar is an introduction to the Pathways to Green Schools program for educators, administrators, school personnel, parents, and other Green Schools community members throughout the state of Delaware. We're recording this presentation for future viewing for those who are not available at this time. And for that reason, we are going to hold all questions until the end, where we will have a live Q&A session for all of the folks who are on the call today. My name is Katie Bartolotta. I'm the Policy and Program Manager for the Delaware Valley Green Building Council, the convening organization of the Pathways to Green Schools program. Also on the call are Kim Ilardi and Kate Barron, and I'm going to turn it over to each of them to give a quick introduction of themselves. Kim?
My name is Kim Ilardi. I'm with Whiting Turner. I'm a board member of DVGBC and a co-chair for the Green Schools Committee here in Delaware.
And Kate?
Hi, this is Kate Bayard. I am the marketing manager for the Delaware Sustainable Energy Utility. I manage the marketing of all the Energized Delaware programs and also help out a bit with the program management for the Pathways to Green Schools program.
So the Delaware Pathways to Green Schools program provides grants, one-on-one support, and expert resources to K-12 schools in Delaware that are committed to becoming healthier, more sustainable, and more energy efficient. The program is open to all K-12 schools, public, private, and charter, who would like to participate. And two of the main goals of the program are as follows. First is to reduce energy use and cost while fostering the growth of sustainability initiatives in Delaware schools. So this goal is about creating a culture of sustainability throughout the entire school community, engaging everyone involved and making sure that it's a campus-wide effort. The second goal is preparation for certification and national recognition through the EcoSchools USA program and through the U.S. Department of Education's Green Ribbon Schools Awards. So this builds off the culture of sustainability by giving a structure to quantify, track, and gain recognition for sustainability efforts, and also build a broader peer group network for folks who are participating in the program to share ideas with and to learn from how they've overcome challenges by greening their school. The program's success is built on its successful partnership. So as I mentioned before, my organization, DVGBC, Delaware Valley Green Building Council, convenes the program. DVGBC is a nonprofit organization that promotes green building policies and practices throughout the region toward the goal of reducing environmental impact and costs, improving health, and enhancing communities. And we do this in a variety of ways through educational programming, strategic initiatives, and through related policy and advocacy work. So Pathways to Green Schools program is one of those key initiatives that we work on in the state of Delaware. So now I'm going to turn it over to the primary funder, the Delaware Sustainable Energy Utility, and I'm going to invite Kate to give a summary of their programming.
Hello. The Delaware Sustainable Energy Utility is a nonprofit organization that was created by the state of Delaware. We are funded not through state taxpayer dollars, but primarily through the funds that power plants pay for polluting and using fossil fuels. We have a number of programs for homeowners and businesses, governments, nonprofits, and schools, which is the Pathways to Green Schools program. As Katie mentioned, we are the primary funder of the program, and probably the most visible pieces of that to those of you in the schools is that we fund the building level energy audits that you're going to be provided with, and as well as the mini grants. We also have a number of other programs that are not rolled into the Pathways program that the schools are eligible for and can help out with their goals, which include our low interest loan program. And for the public schools and districts, we have a bond financing program that is available for them to help pay for some of the energy upgrades that they might be interested in doing. Thanks, Katie.
Great. Thank you, Kate. So another strong partner that we have as part of the program is the National Wildlife Federation in the form of their EcoSchools USA program. So The EcoSchools USA program provides the organizational framework for the Pathways to Green Schools program and also provides resources to help track sustainability efforts and assist with curriculum integration for educators and their students who are participating in the program. The program also works very closely with complementary agencies in Delaware state government, including the Delaware Department of Education and the Department of Natural Resources and Environmental Control, especially its Children and Nature initiative. So last year, all of the schools, we had some schools that have worked with both of these organizations and have been part of our programming and our other workshops and the like. In addition to those government partners who've been engaging with members of our school community, we've also formalized a partnership with Delaware Technical Community College, or DelTech, to include all of the schools that are currently part of their dual enrollment energy management program into the program as well. So students who are taking classes both at their high school and at Delaware Tech have had other opportunities made available to them by participating in the program, and we'll get into those a little bit more later in the slide deck. So the last group that we work with as a really key program partner is Practical Energy Solutions. They are an energy service company that coordinates the 3 facilities audits for new program participants and assists with energy benchmarking and Energy Star portfolio manager. So for a lot of kind of the facilities-based technical work and for the connection between facilities and the classroom, Practical Energy Solutions has been a really great partner in connecting those dots. So on to our program benefits. There are quite a few benefits that participants get as a Pathways program participant. They're kind of broken into 3 different areas. The first being networking and programs. So one of the key features of the Pathways program is fostering a network of like-minded educators and school personnel to share ideas and challenges in their efforts to green their schools. So we bring folks together around workshops and roundtables to learn new content and to help support efforts with related experts from DVGBC's member and partner network that can give folks a little extra content that they can use for their curriculum connections or for projects and things of the like that they want to start in their school community, build relationships with folks who may have additional resources or can assist in their efforts, and above all else, just really provide a platform for peer-to-peer networking between educators to share best practices and examples of the types of projects that they've undertaken and really how they've accomplished them. So sharing challenges and how they've overcome those to complete different projects and initiatives in their school communities. So the other kind of broad category of benefits is related to facilities assessment and planning. So new schools that enter the Pathways program are eligible for a building facilities audit that helps everyone in the school community understand better how their building is using energy and water and gives suggestions for improvement ranging from behavior change to enhanced operations to capital improvements for schools that may have the ability or plans to invest in their facilities. So in the last year, we've created an opportunity for student engagement in this process to learn about building science, building energy use by walking along with Practical Energy Solutions on these facilities assessments. And it really gives students a knowledge of the types of jobs that are available in energy conservation and energy efficiency. So it's been a really great benefit to have student participation in the facilities audit piece in the last year. So as part of that also, school personnel and students, if the school chooses to do so, participate in an in-person report debrief with Practical Energy Solutions to hear the results of their facilities audit. And again, all of those recommendations ranging from the behavioral changes through to capital investments if that's something that the school is interested in learning more about. So It's a really good engagement tool and a great way to learn about your building's energy and water use. So to kind of piggyback off of that, utility bills are entered and tracked in Portfolio Manager along with basic building usage information to evaluate the impact these energy conservation and efficiency strategies that are underway at each participating school are having over time. So it's a really good way to have some metrics behind the work that everyone's doing in their school communities around energy and water in particular. So the last kind of big piece of the program structure is project support. So the Pathways program has a competitive mini grant program that we facilitate on an annual basis that provides seed money for participants to begin sustainability projects focused on energy and climate in particular. So it allows schools to leverage these committed dollars from the Pathways mini grant program to help secure other grants and donations to round out their project needs. So the idea is to have this seed money that comes in the form of a mini grant to really help grow and scale efforts that are underway at schools. So we support that also with help in implementing initiatives, including connecting our participants to other expert partners and other resources, and also providing guidance on curriculum connections. So now I'm going to turn it over to Kim Ilardi to explain in a little bit more detail the EcoSchools framework.
So as Katie mentioned earlier, we do use the EcoSchools framework, which consists of 12 different pathways. Each pathway has a different topic that they focus on. You can see them listed at the top of the screen. And then within each of those pathways, there are 7 steps that you follow through for each one. What we're asking is that each group will choose the energy pathway and one additional pathway. So the energy pathway is mandatory, but your additional pathway is up to you to decide what it is you would like to focus on. Each of them has a different topic. As you can see, consumption and waste is a very popular one, along with the school grounds and sustainable food when it comes to gardening. Biodiversity is big in the area as well. And you have a chance to explore each of those through the EcoSchools USA website. Once you select your pathways, then you start working through the 7 steps, and you will, create your action team, create an audit, and then you actually develop your action plan based on the results from the audit. All of these resources are available online, and then we have DVGBC has the volunteers to help guide you through each of these steps and make sure that you have all of the information that you need for each of the 7 steps. Katie?
Great. Thank you, Kim. So we wanted to share a little bit, too, on just our program timeline for the year, given that obviously we use this EcoSchools framework, and there are a lot of different benchmarks that we have folks move through that are very logical in terms of setting up your team, assessing what's going on at your school already relative to the pathway you choose, coming up with an action plan, and a means to execute that. But we try to give a little sense of a program timeline, knowing that structure is really helpful in terms of moving folks through all of these processes, but also knowing that in school communities there are a lot of competing priorities. So while we give this program structure and help folks with our amazing volunteer support and all of the other partners within this program structure, we do also understand that there's flexibility given the fact that, again, as I mentioned, schools have a lot of competing priorities, and usually within this program also like to take multiple years. We've had lots of folks who've achieved quite a bit in their second year of programming following our program timeline for the first year and building off of that. So we start in September. Right now the application process is open for both new and returning schools for the program. We have an early admissions deadline of June 30th for folks that want to have early consideration for the program and not wait to hear back until the end of the summer for our new schools. And then we've got a September program deadline just to give time for folks to get all of the requisite signatures and buy-in from their school community if they're really considering this as they return in August. So acceptances are out in September. We do a great kickoff workshop in October to get at least one representative from each school together for a full-day conference and workshop where we have lots of these different expert partners come together to provide interactive content and really engage all of our school communities in kind of the world of ideas that they can undertake within the next year. And again, continuously giving this framing, structure, and support in order to help folks in their efforts, but really have this as an opportunity for both networking and exposure to all of the things that folks can achieve in the year. So throughout the fall, we complete energy assessments with our new schools, and then come December, we hope to have eco-schools audits and action plans for the 2 pathways for each of the schools completed. So that gives folks a good amount of time to execute student-led audits, to have a sense of how they're performing in their chosen pathways and areas for improvement that they can address through their action plans, and have that all ready to go by the end of the calendar year. So the other piece of this comes in January. The U.S. Department of Education's Green Ribbon Schools application is due. That's actually an external deadline, but we keep it on the calendar because it is important for our schools that want to submit their work for consideration for this award. And around the same time, we have applications due for our mini grant program for folks who want to get that extra seed money to help with their projects. So it gives, again, a period of quite a few months for folks to get their audits and action plans done and really see where having some extra resources can help with their goal setting and efforts. And in February, we award those mini grants so that folks have time to execute their projects in the late winter and spring. And for the spring, usually aligned with the announcement of the U.S. Department of Education's Green Ribbon Schools Award, we have an end-of-year celebration to reflect on all of the great work that our program participants have done over the last year. So now on to participants and achievements. We wanted to take some time to reflect on the schools that have been a part of our program, how the program has grown, and really get into some of the specifics of what folks have been able to do within the space of the Pathways to Green Schools program. So we are approaching our 4th year of the program and have grown in number of participants every year. So in year 1, we started with 9 pilot schools ranging all different grade levels, and this has been something that's been pretty consistent throughout. We've had all grade levels, all school types, and a range of geographic areas within the program as it's open, again, very widely across the state of Delaware. So year 1, we had 9 schools participate. Year 2, we moved up to a total of 12. And in year 3, which was last year, we had 14 total schools. Put a map there just to see, to show everyone here just the geographic diversity that we have. We're continuing to grow always in Kent and Sussex County and get more schools committed and involved to the program. But in total, over our first 3 years, 24 individual schools have participated in the program, and nearly half of them have participated over multiple years. So I mentioned before that a lot of schools really hit their stride in the 2nd year, and that remains true given that, I think in the 1st year, a lot of folks really determine where they have areas of growth, set up their team, get their plan in place, but really over the course of time, get those partnerships both internally and externally in their school communities with parents, community members, and as they're starting to grow their work, get more and more momentum and buy-in, they really find that a lot of folks in their school community want to participate in these efforts, and they have even more folks excited and involved, which certainly helps with all of the achievements that folks have reached. So with that, I wanted to turn it over to our 2016-17 program participant achievements, and Kim Ilardi is going to go through and talk about all the great work that our schools have done.
So the biggest picture is of Forwood Elementary School. They are one of the 2017 National Green Ribbon Award winners. They were also a mini grant recipient for Sensory Garden with Energy Expo, an additional Energy Expo as well. They are a multi-year participant, so they've been involved in the program for multiple years. They have spent time working with a DNS Master Gardener, who layered funding opportunities on top of the mini grant dollars. And they're currently seeking Green Flag Award, which should be a given since they are a Green Ribbon school. And then the top right-hand picture is of Warner Elementary School. They were a 2017 state winner for Green Ribbon schools. They also received a mini grant, and their grant went towards a field trip to the Delaware Solid Waste Authority, reusing water bottles or reusable water bottles for the students. They've done this field trip multiple years. They basically send the entire school to the recycling facility to see how items are recycled and to make sure that they understand the process and how they can do it at home and at school. They've also got an amazing vegetable garden. The kids go out and harvest things themselves. They bring in old potatoes and then they plant them themselves. And this year they're going to be seeking the Green Flag Award. And then in the bottom right-hand corner, we have Ursuline, who is a new participating school this year. And they were able to get the Eco Schools Bronze Award. And they also received a mini grant for a bottle refilling station. And I think their goal is to keep building off of that throughout the next year as well. Katie?
Great. Thanks, Kim. So I think as you can all see, we definitely have a lot of high-achieving schools within the Pathways program. And again, using these external award systems of the Eco Schools Awards and the U.S. Department of Education's Green Ribbon Awards, it not only helps folks to orient their goals and to really track their progress and put it into writing, but also gives the context of really what effect is happening in their school communities. And I think, again, the number of folks that we've had from our 24 participating schools in the program winning Green Ribbon Awards and reaching various levels of the Eco Schools Awards system is really remarkable, just because they're not only completing all of these benchmarks, but in a lot of instances are competing against their peers for these awards. So it's clear that they are performing better relative to other schools based on what they're doing and how committed they are to all of these efforts that they have going on. So our last piece here, I just wanted to provide 2 testimonials that were given by schools that participated in last year's program, just to give, again, an even broader range of some of the things that folks have accomplished. So one of the quotes comes from Molly Foreman, who is the Energy Management Instructor at Milford High School. And Molly said, as part of the Delaware Pathways Green Schools program, our students worked with the mechanical engineering team of Practical Energy Solutions to see firsthand the behind-the-scenes operations of Milford High School and what it costs to run a school. This real-life, hands-on approach was a beautiful connection to our energy curriculum. So as I mentioned before, we not only through the program have an opportunity for students to do this walkthrough with our team at Practical Energy Solutions to see how their school is functioning, to get a sense of their utility bills in terms of not only usage, but in terms of cost. This is a really nice blend with the dual enrollment program that they're also participating with and gives students a really nice exposure to the job field that they will hopefully be working in after they graduate with their degree from Deltech. So it's a really exciting connection and one that we were glad to build in the last year even further. So for the second, we've got a quote from Lori Orsich, who's the assistant head of school at Wilmington Montessori. So Lori said, the Delaware Pathways Degree in Schools program has given our staff and students access to resources by way of high-quality professional development and a network of specialists and an abundance of good ideas. So the photo that we have featured here is from the 2016 ceremony where Wilmington Montessori School was presented with a banner for having won the U.S. Department of Education's Green Ribbon Award for 2016. So again, this is another school that's participated over time, has been a mini grant award recipient, and is continuing to build up on the efforts that they've already been recognized for on a national stage, and continuing to find ways to really deepen their commitment to sustainability in their school community. So we're excited to have all of these great schools on board and are looking forward to seeing many of them return to the program as we add new participants. And we'll close out just with contact information for myself, the staff lead for DVGDC, and contact information for both Kim and Nora, who are the co-chairs of our Green Schools Committee in Delaware and our volunteer leads for the Pathways to Green Schools program. So thank everyone for your time today, and we hope you enjoyed watching this webinar.